push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. Man, it sounds weird here with no flooring and all that. I mean, you can see behind Quinn, we've been doing some destruction today here at the Ysn studios, getting ready for a little bit of a new day, so to speak, in Ysn as we upgrade our studios here in Stream City, USA. I know you're excited for it. We got one more day. This half, basically, we got to move Michael, who is, as Quinn says, for sale. He just doesn't want to see him anymore. But it's also worth
listen, I'm not going to turn down money. Like,
it's a hot commodity.
Absolutely.
You said $300,
right around there.
Michael?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Show me.
All right. I'll
show me before the end of the show. Big things going on this weekend. We'll have a complete new install of some flooring. To make it a little bit more sports oriented. We're excited for that. We'll do some upgrades around the area. And like we said yesterday or the day before, we'll kind of maneuver things around and it'll be a new look for YSN. So we're excited for that. Quinn, on this day in sports history, March 10th, what?
350.
But that's like pristine.
It's the same thing.
Our Michael's a little beat up.
All right, so take $50 off, and I'll sell it to you for $300, like I said.
On this day in sports history, March 10th, 1963, MLB infielder Pete Rose debuts with the Cincinnati Reds at spring training in Tampa, Florida. And guess what? He got hits his first 2 times up because he's the hit king. Why did I bring that one up in particular? There is a lot to talk about, and I know you're the one that kind of filled me in on the Calvin Ridley stuff that's going on in the NFL right now. So Calvin Ridley, as it stands, at least right now, is suspended for the entire year, 17 games of the NFL season, the upcoming NFL season. And obviously there was some gambling that Pete Rose did from that standpoint. So Ridley gets taken out for a year. Rose gets taken out for basically eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got the owners that, are throwing games in the NFL, but nobody gets a hit for that. What is going on in the world right now, Quinn? I feel like things are a little bit lopsided.
Yeah, people have gambling addictions. That's what it is.
I don't even mind the gambling stuff. I mean, if you're going to do it, right, you can't be an athlete and do it. And you certainly don't bet on your own team, which what I read today.
Yeah, but Pete Rose never bet on his own team, but never to lose. He always bet to win.
You're betting on your team.
To win, though. It's not like you're going to say I'm going to lose and then you can go out there and affect that.
I don't think he needs to be banned for the
if you bet to win, you actually have to try to win. If you bet to lose, you could ground ball, you could be like, missed it. Sorry.
I mean, I can see it both ways from that standpoint. I can see it. Who's to say that he doesn't have his cousin or uncle bet on them to lose and they even out? One of those things.
I guess.
But this has been in the news for what, 30 years?
Something
at least.
That, yeah.
So Calvin Ridley is just completely oblivious to this.
I guess.
I don't get it.
He took off last year anyway, though, didn't he? He was mental health.
Was that what it was?
Reasons and stuff, yeah.
Maybe he was just gambling. I don't know. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in this stuff. Obviously for a number of reasons. We like to throw some Skittles around here at YSN naturally, but at the end of the day, we're not professional athletes. You know what I mean? And we're not influencing the way the games are, or even the bets that are being placed.
Probably for the better that we're not
Very
athletes.
very much so. But I do think it's weird and a little bit. You're a little bit tone deaf, not you. If you don't sit there and question why Calvin Ridley is catching so much grief, but you have the Miami franchise that was trying to throw games according to Flores, Coach Flores, you know? And I think we all recognize that sometimes franchises throw games. So what's the difference between affecting games if you're betting on them or affecting franchises if you're just trying to tank for a single player in the draft or whatever? Do you see any difference there?
Not really. It's kind of the same concept, right?
You're affecting things.
Yeah.
One way or the other, the outcome of games.
Yeah.
If you're telling your team to lose and you're giving out hundreds of dollars or thousands or whatever he's giving out, I mean, that's considerable.
Yeah.
And you're affecting the outcome of the game, the actual game. I'm interested. Interested to hear from you. Amo says, but he also wasn't playing when he bet.
That's true because he was off last
But he
year.
was in the NFLPA.
Yeah.
Nikki C says, I get the moral argument of gambling as an athlete. I just don't get how Ridley gets a longer suspension than someone who assaults their partner or kid. I think that's a valuable. I mean, that's spot on.
Yeah.
I also think that the owners, if this holds up, and I'm not trying to say that Ridley is innocent here. He's not. But you look at a 4-game suspension, you look at, what's the worst an 8-game suspension, half a year? He shouldn't be out the entire year. Did he even win the bet? I guess
I have no idea.
I mean, I guess that's not here nor there, but I mean,
yeah.
I hope it covers a year of his salary. At least he wins the bet. We got a lot to talk about today outside of the gambling world, as Ohio still, by the way, has not settled on gambling. Later this year, though, hopefully, right? Isn't that what they're saying?
I think so, yeah.
Come on, let's go. You want to know where Gambling Central is going to be? 169 East Taggart, baby. Over in Stream City, USA. You're not going to have to go far. We should get one of those giant tickers going around the top of while we're making all our adjustments. Quinn, is a big day in basketball. Let's start off with what happened last night with Mooney and Camel. And can I just say, I told you so? Can I? I mean, you texted me before the game was even over, and you said, I can't believe what's happening.
Yeah, I was surprised.
If I would have said to you that Kevin Moore would have, 2 points?
1 or 2, something like that.
The entire game, you would have said I'm crazy.
I mean, I could spin it and be like, I told you that's what they had to do. And I was technically right.
False.
I was wrong with who I picked.
Do you want me to run back the tape?
You could run it back, but I told you gotta
Camel's gonna hold by 20.
I told you gotta hold Camel under a certain amount.
And I'm not bragging that Mooney won. I'm bragging because I am a firm believer that defense wins championships.
Good offense will always be good defense.
Well,
Camel didn't have good offense.
Can we just give credit to Mooney's defense?
Yeah,
that was
I'll give them credit for that.
Unreal.
Holding them 31 points under their average and stuff like that.
You said what?
Impressive. You
said Mooney had to score 60.
Yeah.
To win. And they scored, what was the final on that? 40, 44?
47, 41, I believe.
47, yeah. So Mooney hit their average.
Mm-hmm.
But that defense.
They played solid. They put real solid defense.
I'm telling you.
I was impressed.
We've said this from the jump that Coach Palermo, especially as of late, is making a big time push for Coach of the Year. I mean, how can he not?
Just knocked off 2 of the other top coaches that I can think of for the season.
beat Liberty,
Mm-hmm.
beat Camel,
Beat Springfield.
beat Springfield. I mean, all that's missing for the quintuplet is in East Liverpool, and they didn't play him.
Is that what 5 is?
Yeah. See, quintuplet.
I don't know.
You see it?
I didn't know.
So literally, your name means 5 in some language.
Can you imagine having 5 of me? That'd be great.
Nope. No, 5 of you would be phenomenal.
Wouldn't it be? 5 of my sparkling faces every day.
What would 5 of you do? Sometimes it's hard to get one of you to do
the same
something.
thing that I'm doing now.
Dropping your MacBook and trying to put me on the tab for it. All right, here we go. Get some Nikki C action here. Pretty sure no one saw Kevin Moore finally scoring at the 2-minute mark in the fourth quarter. No. If that would have been a sign-up sheet, I would have not touched that at all. At all. Amo wants to see 5 Quins.
See, that's the support I like. 5 of me.
That's where it ends. That's where the line ends. Kevin Moore, you look at it, and you could tell he was getting frustrated in that game. There was a lot of contact. The referees allowed a lot of contact during that game. They let the boys play. And at the end of the day, that's what happened. I mean, that's advantage Mooney. That's always advantage defense when they let the teams play aggressively and physically, correct?
Yeah.
So can Mooney keep it rolling? Can Mooney be the team that gets all the way to state under the radar? Because who do they match up with now?
At this point, I'm so far in deep. No. No. They get Lutheran East next.
How do you like that matchup?
Lutheran East is good.
Okay.
Lutheran East is real good.
But we heard that about Camel. And we heard that about Springfield. And then we heard it about Liberty. I'm just using the same argument I used yesterday.
I'm going to use the same thing. They're good.
Okay.
They're too good.
Can Mooney's defense stymie Lutheran East?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you know what
Lutheran East plays defense too?
Okay, so we got Lutheran East seems like an easier matchup than Camel, is what Nikki C says.
Nah. Lutheran East there's differences. Like that's I'm sticking with it.
Camel went on a 20-game win streak, and Mooney just said, "We're Brock Lesnar if you're the Undertaker. We are the one in 20-1."
Lutheran East is entirely different than our area good. Our area good is good. Cleveland good is a little bit higher up in my mind.
Why?
Just a different brand of basketball.
Have they won state championships?
Lutheran East?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Have they?
I believe so.
As lately as like the last 3 years?
I believe they made a run at it, yeah.
Making a run and getting one is two different things. Mooney is making a run right now.
I'll look it up.
Cheney is making a run right now. Louisville is making a run right now.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
But it's different than
6 consecutive district champions, 5 consecutive regional championships, 4 state Final Four appearances, and 2 state championships.
When were those? Like if it's 1964, it doesn't count. I mean, it counts. Sorry, Lutheran East. But
they won.
It's like the Pirates when they won the World Series. Like it counts, but it doesn't hold up in today's society.
They beat Columbus, Wellington 4 years ago for a state
for the
state championship.
Was on this team.
This would have been the freshman, I believe.
No, 4 years ago.
This year, too. So if you're senior, junior, sophomore, freshman.
What year was that?
Been 18.
It doesn't say in that.
It was uploaded March 25th of 2018.
Okay.
So.
No. 19, 20, 21, 22.
22. Right now.
19, 20, 21, 22.
Huh.
So they would have been in 8th grade.
Coach hasn't changed. He's been there.
So you still flying on the side of anybody but Mooney?
Yep.
I'm taking you.
Keep it rolling.
Mooney.
Why not?
I'm taking you. And I love you. And I think that, I think they've opened up a lot of eyes along the way. And Coach Palermo certainly has made, man, what a run. What a run. What a great season, too, by our boys over in Campbell Memorial. Like, they've got nothing to hang their head about. It was a great run by Coach Canarino and the boys. Kevin Moore, one of the most unbelievable scorers in our area, by far one of the best. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he's in an elite group that you could put in a potential MVP category. And it was a tough night. It was a tough ending to his career at Campbell Memorial last night, and probably one of those games that's going to haunt him for a little bit. But there wasn't a whole lot he could do about it. I mean, you could tell he was the main focus of the teeth of that Mooney defense, and they weren't going to let him have anything easy, and they didn't. And he scores 2 points on free throws. He didn't even get a field goal, if I'm not mistaken, in that ball game. So congratulations to Cardinal Mooney. They advance and will play Saturday, correct?
It is on,
I think it's Saturday.
12th. So, yeah, Saturday.
Okay. And we will have that covered for you
7
as well.
p.m.
Do we have announcers already signed up?
Ty Bartel and
Ty
Alec
Bartel and
Caberna.
Alec Caberna will be they did a great job last night. A really good job last night. Hopefully you got to watch it, as we understand that the other guys were there too. And the other guys are going to be there tonight at 6:00. But we will as well. We will cover the Cheney Cowboys as they take on the impossible task, as it's being called by some of these people, and one of them sitting in this room, of St. Vincent, St. Mary's. And you look at the history of St. V, St. M, and Quinn. It starts with LeBron James, and now they've got an outstanding player that's going to be playing at the University of Indiana starting next year. And it sounds like he's probably going to be an immediate impact player for the Hoosiers. He's your guy. What's Sincere?
Sincere Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a senior. He's committed to Illinois.
I'm sorry.
Illinois.
My apologies. I thought he was Indiana.
No, Illinois. 6th best player in the state of Ohio. 27th nationally at his position.
Okay. What's he at? Do you have his average?
He is averaging, hasn't been updated for 2-3 weeks, it looks like, but it was right around 24 a game.
24 a game. Okay. So if you are Cheney, and it sounds like they are a little bit injured, they're a little bit banged up, what's the game plan? I mean, let's put your cowboy hat on, right? You're on the Cheney staff. What do you have to do to stop in advance?
That's tough because I've never had to go against a guy like that or a team like that in my career coaching so far. So it's tough for
a
me.
Guy that averages 24?
Not a guy, like a team with that kind of like aura around them. And
are you nervous? Is it just a name thing to you?
No,
like
they're
St.
legitimately really good.
Okay.
And they always have been. It's just you're getting a lot. You could get caught up in a lot of stuff when you play somebody like St. V's. I mean, it's tough because they've got a lot of different options. They could double. You could possibly double. You can funnel everything down low to Clive. You can do a bunch of different things like that, or you can just show up straight up and say, we're going to play man and we're going to give it everything we have and go play.
Hucky's chiming in. He wants you to look at a Max Preps, Cleveland Heights, Lutheran East, Falcons basketball schedule. So I'm guessing he's saying that the schedule's pretty good.
Lutheran East. It is a very good schedule. They're 15-9 on the season though. But they played, so their losses came to Lutheran West, St. V's by 17, Solon, Mayfield, Cleveland Heights, St. Ed's, Dalton. However, I've been corrected on that numerous times. St. Ignatius, Shaw, like they're playing a very legitimate schedule.
Sure.
Something that Mooney hasn't played. I could tell you that.
I mean, I respect that, but Mooney continues to slay every dragon that's in front of them.
You're right. So far.
Like, I always like they don't play the same schedule. Well, okay. They played Cheney, beat Cheney. They played Camel, they beat Camel. They played Springfield, they beat Springfield. I mean, you're talking about teams that have 1 or 2 losses on their schedule that are playing some pretty tough teams. And Mooney is locking them down and locking them under what? 40? A lot of times?
Something like that, yeah.
Do we have breaking news? We have breaking news here. Amo says MLB and MLBPA agreed to a deal. That makes me happy. I wonder, I did read a rumor that if they agreed to a deal prior to 3 p.m., that they would play all 162 games. So why were we talking about games getting knocked off? That's, I don't know. I don't get that part. 162 games, says Mark Roth. You know what that means, baby? Scotty Mincher is the happiest man in YSN. Sorrell says, DJ, watched some of the game last night. What a joy to watch. 2 good teams play good basketball. Yes, sir. Mike Hodge says, Lutheran East is a different animal. They were last year's state champion. Okay.
There you go.
Why couldn't you find that?
It didn't show up. I looked at their website.
What were you looking at?
Like their actual their actual school website. You would think you would put that on the website.
That would be something I would brag about.
Yeah. They didn't do it.
They like that 2018 championship, huh?
I guess.
Spring training March 17th and 18th, opening day April 7th. Let's go. Let's go. Baseball is back.
Yippee.
There's something to watch, man.
I won't watch it, so it won't matter.
There's something to watch on the TVs other than like talk shows.
Find competitive ping pong or something to watch.
Competitive ping pong. That's what you need. For as bad as you are at ping pong, study up a little bit. Mooney had a great game plan, says Ray Samil. They did. But that's always their game plan. Their game plan is, hey, let's play defense. Like, that's it. That's, and obviously there's a lot more that goes into it than that. But I thought that when Camel tied the game late in the 4th, I thought, okay, they get things figured out and Mooney's going to be in trouble. That baseball pass that they called up out of the inbound, I didn't like that at all. And I don't think Coach Palermo liked it either. But they hung around. Not only they hung around, but they waited for their opportunities, and they are just relentless on defense, are the Mooney Cardinals. And that's why they're going to the next round. They did a phenomenal job on defense, and Joe just waved at you through the window, by the way. Amo says, Quinn, when you got their website, the picture was the 21 state championship team.
It was not.
Amo is calling you out right now. Does it, under the caption, does it say 2021 state champions?
No, it doesn't say anything like that.
Quinn's looking. He's your certified researcher.
There's a YouTube video
of the 2021.
17, 18.
Are you sure you're on the right website?
Yeah. They're the only team in the area that has the Lou on their jersey.
Which is pretty sweet. I'm not going to lie. I mean, you and I are Jersey heads. Those are...
You got to zoom all the way in on that trophy to even see that.
Does it say 2021?
Yeah, my eyes can't see that. Are you kidding me? All right, there you go. So it don't matter.
Tough loss for the Red Devils, but it's nice to see the Devils back and competing if we keep the kids in Camel. Listen, that's everywhere right now, Mike. I mean, it's a tough spot for so many schools because kids are leaving, and we've talked about this before. Quinn, the grass is not always greener on the other side of the fence. You look and you say, "Oh man, I'd love to play for so and so or play with so and so." It's a tough sell. It's a tough sell. Mike says we can compete if we can keep the kids in Camel. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. It's the same thing for, open enrollment has changed the game naturally. And it's almost like a direct reflection of what we're seeing in college with the transfer portal. And, if you specialize in basketball, you're trying to go somewhere where they have a great basketball team. Baseball is the same way. Football is probably the big monster in the room. But I can appreciate with the girls side of things, they've just kind of kept it a little bit calmer. I don't want to say calm, but they're kind of content where they are. They're content to play with whoever's on their team, as opposed to pack up and go. My goodness, I'm sorry. Excuse me. That beef stick.
I didn't dive into it yet.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. For this is the third day
Yep.
in a row we've had dinner or lunch right next door at Doyle's. Good for the money, and the lasagna was banging.
It was really good.
Fire today, and I'm not a lasagna guy, but it was really, really good. I need to rein it in a little bit. We need to get back on topic here with Cheney. So you're telling me if there's 100 Skittles on the table and they're all representative of percentage points, how many Skittles are you pushing towards St. V's tonight?
95.
95%.
I've been wrong the whole week, so 95.
I'm going
Shock the world.
I'm going 50-50. I think this is a 50-50 game. And it's Cheney's Cheney can just play loose because everybody's expecting them. Outside of Cheney, everybody is saying, well, it's St. V's, on to the next round, I disagree. I think it's Cheney's to take. I really do. I think if they come out and they play like they do play, it could be big. It could be Cheney's. Sincere can score 30, but his supporting cast has to be stopped.
I would agree with that.
What's St. V's averaging?
Their max rep doesn't have it.
I thought somebody said 70. So it's on par. Here, I'll check real quick. Cheney's 18-8. St. Vincent St. Mary 21-4. The last time these two teams met, just last year, in the middle of December, 71-53 was your final. Harris had 33. Ramar Pryor had 25. Whew. They're something. It's 70.5 to Cheney's 61. And Cheney's given up 50, and St. Vincent St. Mary's given up 53.4. Something tells me I still like Cheney. I still like Cheney in this one.
To each his own, I guess.
Sure, absolutely. But Cheney's been proving people wrong since they came back, years ago. What is this, the fourth straight district champ? No, 3 straight district championships, something like that. So I'm excited to hear that. I'm afraid to pick up that phone. I'm not gonna lie to you. Should we go? Let's give it a shot.
Sure, go
Let's
ahead.
give it a shot. Here we go. YSN is DJ.
I'm going to call back.
Okay. He said he's going to call back.
Sure thing.
All right.
Whatever you say.
So when you look at how things have been going, you look at Hucky says St. V 25 minus 25.5 is the line.
I would agree with him.
Well, you're like contractually obligated to agree with him because he's
not always.
the head coach of the basketball team.
Not always.
Siggy says Cheney needs to make most of their opportunities, make their free throws. I think that goes without saying. I really not to make it
a lot more than that.
Really? Yeah. What all do they need to do?
Figure out how to stop St. V's. It's a train that just keeps on rolling.
St. V's is a much different animal once it gets to the postseason. They play an absolute gauntlet of a schedule and are prepared for anything, says Nick C. You're in 95%.
I'm going to keep on rolling up higher and higher if you keep asking me.
So you're 96 now?
Sure.
I'm taking Cheney. And people are going to call me crazy for it. I believe in what the Cowboys are building. Coach McGaughey is absolutely. Listen, without a doubt, one of the best coaches in the area. Doesn't get nearly enough respect from our stand.
Oh my gosh,
what?
Their losses are impressive losses too. Losing by 2 to Pickerington North.
That a boy, Amo. Give me Cheney in the upset.
Losing by 6 to undefeated Centerville, who has the kid that we talked about yesterday going to Indiana.
Right.
Yep. Losing to Oak Hill Academy. actually where Carmelo went, if you didn't know that.
Oh, I knew that.
Lost to them by 18, and then lost to Sierra Canyon, who has LeBron's kid, and a bunch
Sierra
of other
Canyon?
studs. Yeah, they
Oh, I'm
play.
thinking
That's
of-
when they play down at Staples.
I'm thinking about Grand Canyon or whatever it's
Sierra
called.
Canyon. They lost to them by
The
18
online school.
down in LA.
I give Cheney a 20% chance. Clive has got to have a monster game. I think that's going to be the troublesome part about it. Oh, we don't want that. I don't know what's going on. He's going to have to call back. Clive got dinged up last game. And I'm a little bit worried about that. That's the one thing in the back of my mind. If Clive plays tonight,
I'll go back down to 95.
you ready for this?
Sure. I'm not worried. You can't answer it,
It's
so
not
I'm not worried.
I don't know it's not answered.
You don't know how to answer the phone, so I'm not.
I'm answering.
I'm not prepared.
It's a loud beeping noise. I don't know what's going on with it. It answered fine the first time. Stupid board. I feel bad because the guy had to call back because I think I heard somebody in the background. But
Call Brian. He'll fix it. You can fix anything.
Centerville won at the buzzer last night. Hucky is on a roll right now with watching the show.
Oh yeah, you're talking high school basketball.
Oh, is that what
Lives
it is?
for it.
But whenever I talk about Major League Baseball, is it like he just shuts down?
Yeah, nobody cares about baseball.
There's a lot of people that care about baseball.
Nah.
Disrespectful. All right. We've talked about Cheney. I think they're going to win.
Nope.
You think they're going to lose.
Yep.
Let's go Louisville. They get the 8 o'clock game, and they're playing
Glenville.
What are your thoughts on this one?
Glenville.
Are you just anti-YSN? Like, am I going to have to ship you up to Struthers?
YSN. I think they're going to win.
Are you going to have to be setting up at the Highland Gym?
It could. Coming to you live from the roof.
Huggy says no MLB. He doesn't want anything to do with
See? It's dumb. It's a dumb sport.
It's not a dumb sport.
It's golf without a tee. It's dumb.
What?
It's the same concept. You hit a ball and you run. It's stupid.
Coincidence, you can go play T-ball, which is probably where your career ended.
It is.
Nick says, I like this matchup way more. This is going to be an amazing game. I think this is, and again, this one will be on YSN as well. Well, Mac Aljancic will have the call on this one. Speaking about Aljancic, Will Aljancic, stud. And I think he's going to have a night, a big night. He's got the sporting cast, though. I mean, you talk about some of the best defense in the area. You talk about Mooney, and Louisville's name pops up there too. They can bring the house down with their defense, but they can score with their one guy that is just unbelievable. I know we talk about him all the time, Will Aljancic. Another guy, you talk about Kevin Moore and people in that class. Will Aljancic's right there, and Will Aljancic's just a junior. So I'm excited for this game. I think this is going to be high-paced, probably a little bit more high-paced than the St. V's game. And I know you think that's they play quickly, right? Mm-hmm. Isn't that their game? Louisville plays fast. It is just all the time, up and down the floor, and they play fast on defense. They play even faster on offense. Coach Siegfried has done a phenomenal job. Well documented what he's done in his career with over, 300 wins?
Something like that, yeah.
So I'm interested. I think that this is the better matchup out of our local teams. And obviously from that standpoint, I'm taking Cheney, so you know who I'm going with. I'm riding with the Leps, baby. So what are the biggest things for Glenville that Louisville is not necessarily afraid of, but what poses the biggest threat to Louisville tonight?
Probably the speed, if I had to guess.
But they play fast.
I'm tough. Okay. I don't know. What do I know? I'm telling you, Cleveland basketball, it's different. It's a different level of basketball that not a lot of teams are used to. Now, Louisville might have a better chance in that kind of game because of who they've played, being in that Canton, Massillon area, playing those teams, I could see. But I mean, I will say that I think Louisville has a better chance of moving on than Cheney does.
So Skittle-wise, out of 100,
I'd say 40% Louisville for this one for me.
I think that's fair. I'm still going to go 60 the other way.
Yeah, I figured.
But here's a good, and this is going to spark a debate for you. The only problem I see with Louisville is that they haven't been convincing during the postseason. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been challenged in every game they've played this postseason. So, to me, that gives them the advantage. Because has Glenville been challenged every single game that they've played in?
They're 12-8. They've been. So let me see. They've lost to Lutheran East. They beat John Hay. Lost to Brush Rhodes. Beat East Tech.
Hucky's taking Louisville -2.5. But he says Louisville will slow it down, which is interesting.
Drilled by St. Ed's.
Glenville has an 8-point loss to Menor,
Yes.
who is a regional team.
8-point loss to Menor. They lost to Shaker Heights. They've lost some solid games, but they beat Villa. They've beat Talmadge, beat CVCA in the playoffs. It'll be a good game.
I think this has got Louisville peppered all over it.
Still going Glenville.
You were just a nasty human being today, going against our company and our clientele.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You do what you have to do.
I've been
Quincy.
wrong the entire time, so
That's true. So people are actually like,
might as well try to be right this time.
I don't think that's how it goes. 51-48 says Hucky. Final score.
I'm not going to argue with them. That's just going to create a month-long battle that I'm not ready for yet.
You flipped over pretty quick to the Mooney side last night before that game was
I was
over.
impressed. I was really impressed with Mooney. I thought Camel was going to run away with it. I really did.
Just a reminder, Mooney had no chance yesterday if you watched the show.
I was all in on Camel. I thought they were going to get it done.
And
they didn't.
Cheney?
I was wrong.
I feel like Cheney's going to get it done.
I do not.
I feel Hucky doesn't. Hucky has them 22.5.
Yeah,
Eesh.
I do not.
That's deep.
Yes.
And you're thinking same lines.
Yes. Might be even worse.
Stop. Louisville, but they win it late. 56-52, says Nick C.
Be interesting. I mean, that's going to be a good game, I think. But I like Glenville.
Any idea where you can watch it?
The one and only place.
ysnlive.com/live. Should there be a shot clock in high school basketball? Ooh. Quincy? Should there be a shot clock in high school basketball?
I mean, I can make an argument for it, and I can tell you why it won't happen at the same point.
It's going to happen.
It's going to be tough.
How? I mean, it's going to be implemented.
Who's going to pay for it? Schools aren't going to pay for it. Those things cost a ton to put in.
I agree with you. We've had this conversation, a year ago, almost.
2 years, probably. It was probably when we had nothing to talk about in that stretch.
I feel like they passed it.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to put in because of how much those cost. I mean, they're probably a couple thousand, at least.
A couple thousand is not bad.
You got to put in 2 of them.
Wait,
then run wiring. Not to mention, you're probably going to have to put it on top of a backboard with lights around the hoop or like around the backboard.
Why couldn't you just do the same thing from what they do for football and just roll in one of those things at each end?
And then what? It's just going to beep at the end, and I don't know. I don't think that'll work.
Well, the referees have this thing that they use called a whistle.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
What's the signal? Is it this?
Yeah.
See, that's impressive. You didn't think I'd know that.
It took me a second to remember it.
Because delay a game's this, right?
I believe so.
I think so. Which it makes no sense. What is that? All right.
I don't think a lot of high schools can have it.
Hucky says most teams shoot it faster than 30 seconds anyway. Funding will stop it all day, and people will have to run it every game. Here's the key: staffing issues.
Yep.
There's people that are schools that have staffing issues now of people that'll play the national anthem. Play that will run the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I see the problem being. I think you have a great point, but I think the staffing issues is going to be the problem because who's going to run the shot?
I mean, there's a couple things that it has to progress down the line before it could be a problem.
I mean, I watched that Norton basketball game when they played West Branch, and they just held the ball in the corner for, I think it was 1:50, something like that.
I mean, even against Salem, they didn't hold it, but they swung it around. They did a good job passing and stuff like that and killed a lot of clock.
I want to see it.
I think it didn't. I forget when it was. I can't remember if it was last year or maybe 2 years ago. A school held it the entire quarter. Like just held it. I think it was Russia.
That's why I want the shot clock. I hate when teams do that. And I use hate like legitimately. I despise when teams play that. I'm just going to score and hold the ball.
If Cheney holds the ball for the whole first quarter, they might have a shot.
I still don't like it. Like you're going to get me jumping ship. If Cheney does that, I'm jumping way on the other side.
Cheney won't do that.
No, they won't.
They won't do that.
Because
it's
they're
fun
not afraid
playing.
of people.
It's fun playing in games like that, though.
In what games? When they're holding the ball?
No, fast pace.
Oh,
that sort of thing. It's just it's more fun.
I can't stand when they just hold on to it. Like, that's not basketball. It's strategy, but it's not basketball. Like, it drives me bananas. And it almost to the point, when pitchers here, I'm going to give you a baseball term. So just sit still. When pitchers come set, there's a play, right? That a pitcher will come set and he'll just stand there until the batter calls time. That's a play. That's a set play for pitchers and catchers. I do not like that. I hated running that. Like in college, I'm sitting there like, we're college athletes. Let us play. Like if we're not good enough, we're not good enough. I understand the strategy behind it, the checkmate, all that stuff. Oh, drives me nuts. Mike, you got me all fired up today. Mooney held the ball a lot last night, very disciplined. But they didn't hold it.
Mooney didn't hold it. They ran stuff.
Yes,
and
I'm okay with you. If
they just didn't
run a
score.
play.
They weren't looking to score as much, I don't think.
Hucky says, this is a personal opinion. I think it will separate the good and bad further in basketball.
The shot clock?
I could see that.
Okay, so explain.
All right, say it's St. V's versus the worst team in the state of Ohio. Worst team in the state of Ohio could just hold it and be close. Shot clock will force you to play more.
Okay.
Increasing a 200-point win for St. V's in that case, basically.
They're not going to win by 200.
No, but you get the point. It creates.
Now you're
required to play, basically.
The add-on here is, he says, now you have good, mediocre, and bad. Mediocre and strategize and compare with good. I don't know. I think Hucky's having.
I kind of see where he's going. I think he's trying to say like a mediocre team with some strategy doing it without a clock can have a better chance of winning. They could pull off one of those wins.
Sure. Well, I mean, let's face it. Mooney stayed in the game. They slowed the game down on offense, not on defense, on offense last night because they were holding the basketball or held possession for a long time. Nick says, it'll get many teams prepared for harder competition in the postseason, especially. Here's where I want it, because I see your point. The staffing issues is a problem. The wiring is going to be a problem. Just the actual install.
Pay to put it in before you worry about the staffing part.
So,
in my mind,
so maybe you just do it for the tournament play. That's where you initiate it, right? For the first 5 years, let teams get funding together or whatever, and the OHSA can say, listen, if you do not have shot clocks built in, you do not host. I think that's the way to go, because then you have shot clocks in these games that should feature the best or better teams in the area going head to head. That's where I think the shot clock conversation should go. Install it in the postseason first, and then you know who you are. You know what I mean? You know who you can't hide. Hucky says, give me the phone number. MLB lockout is over. Breaking news from Chris Huxfold. Then you have to prepare differently for the postseason, which I dig. I like that. I like having to prepare for the post. I think you have to prepare differently for the postseason anyway. Teams you've never been, faced with or have never thought that you were going to play. When you make it to regionals, you're playing some good teams. But you should not be holding the basketball for 1 minute and 50 seconds. That should not happen. Just holding the basketball. Like it should come down to, can you score or can't you score? And that's it. That is it for me. But that, again, is a personal opinion. He says it seriously is over. So people are probably going bananas on Twitter right now. You don't care.
I've blocked all baseball in my life. Yeah. Anti-baseball.
If it wasn't 3:47, I'd say let's get Hucky on. Maybe
we'll see if he calls.
Get him on here.
Could. I called him. Or I text him the number. We'll see if he calls.
Oh God, I don't.
Then it requires you to answer the phone.
Give him the link. See if he'll beam in. Again tonight, 2 games for $9.99. Here comes the phone.
There you
call.
go.
Oh boy, come on. See there? You hear it? You can't hear that. Huck, I can't. I know they can hear it over the loudspeaker. Just give him the link. $9.99. The games for tonight. You get the Cheney game at 6:00 when they take on
We never took a break. We
didn't
realized
take a
that straight through.
They listen. The Bills. We got stuff running right above your head. Go like this. That way. And then you can get the Louisville game right after. So it's a lot of entertaining basketball tonight on the network. All you have to do, if this is your first time going through, go to ysnlive.com/live, and you can click the 2 games. Doesn't matter where you go. You get a ticket to both of them for the one low price of $9.99. And I think isn't it like $12, $15 or something to get in per person?
Something like that, yeah.
So you're saving a couple bucks. And if you're not going to go support our teams, if you don't have plans to do it or you're busy, naturally you got to go to YSN. What?
You got to type it out. I can't access it right now. I got logged out. The back half of it.
You're really going to make me go in?
I can't get on. I got logged out.
Oh boy. Are you going to at least cover the dead air?
Sure. Why not?
Go ahead.
How about that baseball team? I got to pull up the baseball stuff. I'll try to talk baseball for you. We'll see.
You're the worst.
Aren't I, though? I hate that it's the number one thing trending on my Twitter is that baseball's back.
That warms my heart.
That's sickening to me.
It warms my heart.
That is sickening.
And by the way, no free plugs.
I can't even see the deal. Like, they don't even tell you what the deal is on here. That's baloney. See, this is why baseball's dumb. They can't even tell you what the deal is for this.
What do you want?
I want to know what the deal was, why it took so long.
I want to know. They're making the bases bigger. Oh, here we go. Here he comes. What's up, Hucky?
We're here.
All right. So explain why the shot clock won't work.
So, and it's a simple thing. And don't let me preface this. I'm all for the shot clock. I really am. I think it would be better for the game in the long run. I think that in the shot clock world, I think the speed of the game's better. I think overall, I think that the fans get a better game. But I think the disparity of the game is so spread out now between. That's why typing, it's so hard to put your thoughts out there. But you got good teams, mediocre, and bad teams. And I think bad teams can compete with mediocre teams by strategy, slowing the game down, playing a zone defense, things like that. And the mediocre teams can compete with a good team by doing the same thing. Shot clock changes all that. You're not going to be able to do that.
So if you were to put 1 and 2, one of the biggest issues, we talked about staffing and we talked about actual installation of the shot clock. What is the biggest complication for installing a shot clock, I guess, into especially basketball around our area.
I think it depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to administrations, athletic departments, they're going to say staffing. Who's going to run it? Who's going to be educated enough to run it? As far as when to reset the shot clock, the rules to reset it, all those things. You talk to the school districts, the higher ups, who's going to pay for it? A lot of school districts now are self-funded by boosters, different things like that. You're going to get to some serious money in these situations. New schools now, they should start to wire for these things. If they're building a new school now, like a Crestview is building a new school, they should, if they're building a new gym, they should wire for a shot clock just so that's ready. They can plug it right in and be ready to go.
I like it. And you guys run a little quick offense down in Lisbon. I think that this would be beneficial to you, would it not?
Oh, I think I look at, some people don't look at their numbers. You look at your numbers and you look at how many possessions you have a game and just do the math divided by 32 minutes. I guarantee you most coaches would look at it and say, I shoot the ball more than 30 seconds or 40 or 45, whatever magic number that they decide to come up with as a shot clock anyway.
All right. So I hear from a little birdie that you guys have some special things going on this weekend. Do you want to get a free plug on that?
Anytime YSN always gives some free plugs out, that's great. You guys do so much for the area anyway. It's great. We after 2 years off from the Coaches Association, the Columbiana County Coaches Association not being able to have our all-star games, we're bringing everything back from not being able to have it. It's humbling that we're getting everything back going. We're going to have 6 all-star games this weekend. For the first time, we're going to have a junior high boys and girls all-star games. We're going to have our underclassmen, 9th, 10th, 11th grade all-star games. And then we're going to have our senior all-star games. The most important thing of the night is we're going to give out 24 $500 scholarships, $12,000 in scholarships that we were fortunate enough to raise as a coaches association that we're going to give out to 24 seniors that are well deserving in our area. So we're really excited for that.
So if somebody wants to come to the game and obviously support, these teams, these players, when does it start and when how much does it cost to get in?
So we start at noon on Sunday. 12 and 1:30 are the 2 junior high girls and boys games. 3 o'clock and 4:30 are the underclassmen games, and 6 o'clock and 7:30 are the senior games. We're going to present the scholarships in between so probably about 7:20 we'll present the scholarships in between the senior girl and boy game. $5 and for adults, $3 for students. All that money will go towards the scholarship fund for the future for next year. Pay it forward thing. So a lot of basketball. Not too often you get to spend $5 and you get 6 games.
That's awesome. That is a great deal, and it's a great thing you guys are doing. I love the incorporation of junior high. That's the future, man, and to get them to see the game up close and personal, and hopefully they'll be playing in some of those games next year as well.
Oh, definitely. We're going to give out MVP awards for every game. A lot of good stuff. High school kids, especially them seniors, they're going to get to wear, their high school uniforms one more time. Some of them kids that, that'll mean something to them, I'm sure. It's going to be a great day. Be kind of cool. Kind of one more last hurrah for the seniors. And I think the underclassmen game is going to be highly contested. Seniors kind of get to that point in their career. They get it. It's a fun, let's go out, chuck some threes, some stuff that Coach Huxold or any other coach in the area didn't allow them to do, throw up some shots that they weren't allowed to do. But then the underclassmen game could get a little highly contested. It'll be interesting to see how the day plays out. Junior high kids, I'm sure they'll be more scared and not understanding the situation because it's a different scenario for them. But, I think it's going to be a great day.
It's going to be fun to watch, man. I'm hoping to be there in person to kind of take it all in and to celebrate alongside you guys. Congratulations. Good luck this weekend. And thanks for stopping by, man. You're always welcome here on the Power Hour.
I appreciate it. Finally, it's very rare in my schedule. I have some time, so I just happened to jump in. And I was texting Quinn, and he texted me back, and I just happened to click on Facebook, and I seen he was in the middle of working, and I actually texted him back. I said, "Dude, you don't have to answer when you're there working and doing that." And so then you had some interesting topics, and I'm like, "Well, heck, I'm gonna start to coin in here," and then next thing you know, I'm sucked in for a whole hour. So
That's it, man.
good
That's
stuff
it.
that you got going on there, and
Thanks, brother.
maybe some of my predictions will hold true tonight. And I hope the area teams do good, but like I always say, man, there's your school good, there's your area good, and then there's really good. St. V, unfortunately, is really good.
They are good.
And Lutheran East is really good. So hopefully Coach P and the Mooney boys can D them up and slow them down. I really like what they've done this year. A couple of them kids played AAU for me when they were younger, and I Coach Palermo actually played he's an ex-Ohio Laker alum too.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day. So I got some ties with him back when he was a young buck as well. So
wow, man, you get long in the tooth. You get starting to coach coaches.
Unfortunately, that's what happens when you start to get old. So I'm starting to have that coaching tree, and there's starting to be a lot of legs on that coaching tree. So, but yeah, I hope Coach Palermo can keep the area. It's nice to see some basketball teams from the Valley start to do some success and start to get a little further into the tournament, on the girls' side and the boys' side. So it's good. It shows that basketball is starting to turn the corner in our area, this corner of Ohio, for sure.
You got it, man. Hucky, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, you're welcome anytime.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, DJ. Thanks, Quinn.
There he goes. Chris Huxold, the imperial leader of the Lisbon Blue Devils, and your head honcho, my friend. Quinn, you're allowed to text him back. Like,
I was.
That's how. I mean, Hucky doesn't understand. It's a culture here. We're allowed to. I mean, we're trying to find a truck so we can get this table. We were on Facebook Marketplace. We're getting a new table, and the lady's like, "Yeah, you can come get it." I was like, "I got an Equinox. Like, unless we put that thing on the top, which is not out of the question."
Do what you got to do.
But
it's the mindset.
If you got a truck and you want to help us out, we're open to suggestions. We need this. It's in North Lima, apparently. So no, it's not going to do it for a show. What am I talking about? We got to get to our one sponsored segment and pay one bill today. Here we go. Ready? It's the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Presented by our very, very good friends in North Lima, coincidentally. Joe Dickey Electric. Visit them today at DickeyElectric.com. Joe Dickey Electric, proudly powering the Mahoning Valley for over 60 years. Quincy, what's your spark?
Can I say a negative spark because baseball's back? That means I got to sit there and watch that crap.
You are a miserable human.
I'll go positive.
All right.
I'll do a positive one. AAU season's here. I'm excited for it. I get to coach some of the local girls and some of the younger kids in junior high and stuff like that. And
what year do you what level do you have this year?
I got 7th grade girls, and we got a high school team with Eric Bailey doing another one as well. Wow. So I'm excited. He might actually have 2 high school teams. I'm not sure, but get to kind of get that stuff started here soon and talk to Hucky more. I can't wait.
The QP and EB connection.
Oh,
can't wait
talking to Hucky. Stop.
It was nice to have him on the show today.
It was.
We did. I don't think I did one of his coaches' corners this year. I think Anthony did 1 or 2 of them.
Anthony had one of them, and I think he had another one some through the middle of the week. Middle of the year sometime.
I like talking to Hucky. I liked best when I got Hucky and TJ on at the same time right before the We Fight game, and letting them kind of joust.
You start, and I get that all year now.
Well,
the next couple months.
We get to have some AAU conversations this year. And I think you and I talked about that, bringing in some, hey, these kids play AAU, get out to, hopefully we'll be able to stream some of them because I think that'd be a bonus. And obviously we have a goal here of 1,000 basketball games. What does our number stand at right now?
955 or something like that. I got to update it.
955, Hucky. 955.
He can get in on that.
1,000 games.
I'm excited.
And we'll be at 963 is what we counted. If it's all if everything plays out the way we want. with the All-Star games and everything. We will have the NAC All-Star game on Monday. Matt Morrison will have the call for you from Badger. Nick Colbert says, spark to Quinn for being on his best behavior while the boss came in. My spark, I'm going to go with baseball is back. You knew I was going to go with that, especially after your little tirade. My favorite sport of all, and I'm excited it's back. I get to go look at the details now. I've been completely in the dark for the last hour. Welcome back, baseball. Welcome back, America's pastime. And let's make sure that we don't keep it in the pastime. Let's move it along to the present and the future this time around. That is going to do it for the Ysn Power Hour. On behalf of my good friend, the Assistant General Manager of Your Sports Network, Mr. Quinn Pushkar, my name is DJ Yoakley saying so long for now. We'll catch you tomorrow on the Flippity Flip right here on Ysn's Power Hour. Peace. Ysn thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network.